And then I'm going to go make sure that we're live. And we are. Okay, so 10.5, we are talking about tangents. Now, tangents are lines that go from a point outside of a circle to a point touching the circle in one location. Do y'all see how that touches right there? Right? Now, this may or may not be a tangent. We're actually going to decide if it's a tangent in just a minute. But that's what a tangent looks like. It looks like it's from the outside of the end to the edge like this. Do y'all see this line right here? Not a tangent. Why is it not a tangent?
It's on the inside.
It's on the inside of the circle. Tangents do not go inside the circle. They're just outside, okay? Now, for it to be a tangent, that has to be a 90-degree angle. It has to make a 90-degree angle with the radius for it to be a tangent. And if it doesn't make a 90-degree angle, it's not a tangent no matter what it looks like.
How do you know if it's a 90-degree?
Well, that's what we're about to talk about. So, if that's a 90-degree angle, what kind of triangle would this be?
Right.
A right triangle. And what theorem do we use to determine if things are right triangles? Pythagorean theorem. You okay? Okay. Pythagorean theorem. So, Pythagorean theorem says that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are legs and c is the hypotenuse, right? And so, if we plug these numbers they gave us into this, and it works, we get a true statement, then we know that's a right triangle, which means that's a right angle, which means that's a tangent, right? So, what would be our hypotenuse in this triangle? What?
G. I.
Those are not sides. Those are all vertices. 41. Peyton is right. 41. So 41 squared goes right there. And then what's our A and our B values? 9 and 40. So on your calculator, you're going to type in 9 squared plus 40 squared, and you're going to get an answer.
How do you square it? 1681.
There's a button that says X squared. Do you see that?
Found it. Yes.
Okay, and then we need 41 squared. So guess what we just discovered, y'all? That is a right triangle. So if that is a right triangle, yes, those are congruent sometimes. If that is a right triangle, then that's a right angle. If that is a right angle, that means that HI is a tangent. So our answer here would just be
Yes.
yes, because the question was, is it a tangent? And we're going to say, yes, it is a tangent. Our justification is this. That is our justification. Okay? So look at number 2. Same scenario. They're asking us, is AB a tangent? Now, does it look like a tangent?
Yes.
It does, don't it? But for it to be a tangent, that has to be a 90-degree angle. If that's a 90-degree angle, that means that's a right triangle. If that's a right triangle, that means Pythagorean theorem will work for it, right? So we're going to plug things into our Pythagorean theorem.
That's wrong. Something's wrong with my eye. It's like trying to kill me or something.
Do you need to go to the nurse?
I don't know. Like, it feels like something's in my eye, but then I went and looked and, like, there was nothing there. So, like, I don't know what's wrong with it.
I don't know. I mean, you probably have an eyelash in it that you just couldn't see.
I wouldn't doubt it. My eyelashes go in my eyeballs.
Mm-hmm. If you need to go to the nurse, you're welcome to.
It's okay. They'll just tell me, oh, go back to classroom.
Okay, what are our A and our B in this case?
4 squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared.
That's right. Now, 13 squared is 169.
It's
And
not
then
the
the
same.
others are 160.
So, what did we just figure out?
It's not a right triangle.
That's not a right triangle.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Hold on.
We just put the numbers in. Okay, so the C is the one that, like, equals them both. basically?
The C is the one that's across from the right angle.
Okay.
Okay? It's always the longest. Always, always, always the longest. And then so we have to add them together. We have to square them and add them together. And Peyton had already done that math, so she just told me what it was. And then we square this one. And if they do not equal, that means it's not a right triangle, right? And so if it's not a right triangle, then that means it's not a right angle.
Can we just put no?
Yes. So if it's not a right angle, then that means that AB is not a tangent. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right? It's not going to get any harder, John. I'm like for real. I'm not joking you. Okay, look at this. This is the directions here say that assume that segments that appear to be tangents are. So what we're saying is PW looks like a tangent. PW is a tangent. QW looks like a tangent. QW is a tangent. Okay? If it looks like it's a tangent, it's a tangent. And that was their way of getting away from having to write out every single thing that was a tangent. Okay? Okay. If two tangents are on the same circle and they meet at the same point, they are congruent. That means that PW is congruent to QW, which means that their measurements are equal. They're the same, which means
3x minus 6 equals x plus 10.
Excellent. So we can use that information to find x, right? So what would we do? Yep. We're getting there, Peyton. Slow your roll, Speedy. And then what's the next step going to be?
Add 6.
Add 6.
And then divide 2x by 16.
And so Peyton was right when she shouted out x equals 8. She was right. Okay. Yeah, if we needed to. They actually just asked on this one just to find x. That's all they asked for. But if they asked for like PW, we'd plug that in. They didn't ask for PW, so we don't have to.
What's the round to the nearest 10th? Is that like if your x's need to be round?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 4, same song, second verse. AB and AC are tangents. Because they look like tangents, we are assuming they are tangents. That means that they are congruent, which means they equal the same thing. So, yep. You already got your answer? Good job. So I'm going to go ahead and work it out. So you work it out on your stuff. I'll work it out on mine. We'll come together in a second and see if you have the same thing I do. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Wait. What?
Did you make a mistake somewhere?
Yeah, because I'm stupid.
Nah.
The wrong number.
Sometimes we get careless, but that doesn't make you stupid. This morning I completely missed a problem, like mathematically. I just did the complete wrong math. Wrote the wrong numbers, everything.
This is kind of a dumb question. Whenever you have x squared to get rid of the second power, I know you don't multiply numbers.
Square root.
Yeah, square root.
Mm-hmm. Square root. That's hard for people to remember. That's not a dumb question. Okay, you already look at number 5?
Yeah.
So, now number 5 looks a little different, right? So, what do we think is a tangent on number 5?
F.
E.g. and F.g.
FG.
H.
Well, yeah, F.g.
FG. What about EG?
E.g. is the...
It has its the thingy in the middle.
Yeah, so EG is not a tangent because it goes into the circle, okay? But if FG is a tangent, like we said, then that means angle F would be a 90-degree angle, which means this triangle would be a right triangle, a 90-degree triangle, right? Which means what works? That starts with a P and ends with Pythagorean. Pythagorean theorem. Hypotenuse doesn't start with a P.
That's why I said it with a P instead of an H.
Nutty girl.
Square plus B squared.
Which means we can find that missing side. We just plug this in. So what are we going to put?
It's going to be 8 squared
Uh-huh.
plus x squared
Uh-huh.
equals 17 squared.
Perfect. And now we just solve this.
17 squared is 289, and then equals 64 plus x squared.
Okay.
And then you have to do the minus 64 on both sides. And then you get 225 equals x squared.
Okay.
And then I got x equals 15 by man.
Nope, you did not. So then you got to take the square root of that, right?
Mhm.
And so what is x going to be? 15. Perfect.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm not. I'll wait right there for you.
Yeah, that was too quick.
My bad. I'm sorry. But y'all know how to do that, right?
No.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I probably do.
Yes,
but
you do.
you're going so fast, I'm like, wait, what?
Peyton, we have to slow down, okay?
Yeah. So yeah, Jasmine's-
Oh,
Where you hung up at?
no, I just did it before.
You gonna make it?
Maybe.
Do you have something you can get a drink in? Do you have something that you can get a drink in?
Water.
If you need to get a drink, you can, okay?
Yeah, this morning I took pills for school. I guess.
Nice.
Did not work.
Didn't help, huh? Sometimes it takes a while to get over that stuff.
Every time somebody says they like took pills instead of I took medicine, I always think that they're drug addicts.
Like
I'm
taking
took
dope?
Pills.
I am real bad to say, like if I'm hurting, like I've had a headache, which I've had a headache for like 2 days, 3 days now. But I'll say like I doped up, like meaning like I took a whole bunch of medicine, you know, I doped up. And I always think if people don't know me, they're gonna think that I'm saying like I took a bunch of dope, which is so far from the truth. Okay, we ready for 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, what
WZ.
is WZ?
What was the word? Tangent.
Tangent, good. So if WZ is a tangent, then what do we know about angle Z?
Right.
It's right angle, right? Which means that this whole triangle is a
Right triangle.
right triangle, which means hypotenuse. Now you got me saying hypotenuse, which means Pythagorean theorem works, right? Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? And what is our unknown value? X. But what is it in A, B, and C?
C.
It's C. So that's our unknown value right there, right? And so the 24 and the 10 are our known values.
You have to square it.
24 squared is
48.
Got 676.
not 48. That's times 2.
576.
576 plus 10 squared.
How'd you do 576?
44 squared is 576.
26. I thought we were supposed to add them together.
You are. We just hadn't done it yet. You're all right.
76
Oh.
equals x
You're all right.
squared, and then the square root it and you get 6.
That's it right there. Is that what you got, John John?
So if you have an X that's squared, like, is that all you do? You don't even what?
So if you have something that's squared like this right here, right? And you want to unsquare that thing, then you take the square root of it. Because squaring is a number times itself.
How do you square? Like, what does that mean?
Square rooting is when you say what number multiplies times itself to get that. So for example, if I do 3 squared, I'm saying 3 times 3, right? Which is 9. But if I say the square root of 9, I'm saying what number multiplies times itself to get 9.
Okay, that's what I was.
So they're the opposite of each other. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I've got one more piece of information about tangents to pass on to y'all. And I'm telling y'all, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I think this is even easier than what we've done so far. Like for reals.
For reals.
For reals. For Rizzle. My nizzle.
Miss
Okay,
Grizzle.
Snoop Dogg.
I like Snoop Dogg. If for no other reason than that Snoop Dogg and no, the old white lady.
Betty White.
No, not that one. Martha Stewart. The fact that Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart are buddies is just hilarious to me, and I love that. And
For real.
yeah, like they are friends. Like call and text each other friends. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so when you have a polygon that's outside a circle like this, you can either say that the triangle or polygon is circumscribed, and they'll either say about or they might say around the circle. So you'll say the triangle is circumscribed about the circle, or the triangle is circumscribed around the circle. Those are used interchangeably, okay? Or you could switch it around and you could say that the circle is inscribed in the circle is inscribed in the triangle. So inscribed refers to, you're talking about the shape being inside another shape. Circumscribed, you're talking about the shape being outside of another shape. Y'all see what I'm saying? And it could go either way. Like we could have a circle with a triangle inside it, right? And if this would be the circle is circumscribed about the triangle, or the triangle is inscribed in the circle. Y'all see what I mean? Okay?
You just drew the exact same picture.
I didn't.
No, there's a triangle.
What is it
I
called?
just drew the
Circles
exact
outside of the-
opposite picture. Now what, Don?
No, I couldn't see it.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, now, what does this mean to you? Well, anytime that you have a circle inside of a polygon and it touches all the sides of the polygon, then what that creates is tangents to the each vertex. So like if you just look at this right here, RS is a tangent. UR is a tangent. Now they go to the same point, R. So what does that tell you about these two tangents? They're congruent. So if RS is 13, so is UR. Right? Same thing up here. If TQ is 4, what is QU? Same thing down here. If PT is 9, what is PS? 9. Now, in this problem, we're asked for two things. We're asked to find X, and then we're asked to find the perimeter. Now, X, notice it's the only place X is used. And they've got 2X equals 9. Well, that's going to be easy. What's X got to be if 2X equals 9?
3. I mean, you know.
4.5.
4.5.
I would have guessed 3.
It was just something off the top of my head, okay?
Okay. Where'd you get that 4.5 at, John?
9 divided by 2.
9 divided by 2. Because 9 equals 2X. 4.5. All right. Now, the next thing is we got to find the perimeter. Now, how do you find the perimeter of a triangle?
Add them all up.
Add them all up. How big is this side?
4 plus
17.
13.
17.
How big is this side?
12. No, 13.
17.5.
9 and 4?
I don't know, I was on the wrong on the
Oh,
bottom.
13.
94 is 13.
13.
I thought she was on the bottom.
Well, it's not going to be a 0.5 either. Remember, this piece right here is not 4.5. That's just what X is. How big is this piece?
9.
It's 9.
So it's 22.
So it's 22. So if we add those all up, we've got 10, 11, 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 52, just like Chris said. That's our perimeter. So just like you said.
Oh.
Okay, we got one more problem.
Wait,
And-
what
Oh,
was
my
it?
bad. My bad.
1.5 was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you answered that.
I'm tripping.
Did you say 1.5?
4.5. 4.5.
I forgot I answered.
You answered that yourself. How could you not know that? Okay, last one. So once again, we have a polygon circumscribed about the circle. That means that the polygon's on the outside, circle's on the inside, right? And we know it's circumscribed because it's touching all four sides of that polygon, right? Which means that each of these vertices create these two tangents. So if I know that HR is 13, what do I know about HS?
It's 5.
5. 13.
13.
John's right, you got me saying the wrong number.
Y'all got to pay attention to what I'm asking.
S and T.
If SI is 5, then what is IT? 5. If UJ is 13, what is TX or TJ? 13. If RK is 5, what is KU? 5. Now, question number 1, what's the value for X?
13.
13. We don't have to even do any math, right? Question number 2, what's the perimeter?
72.
Where are you getting that from?
Adding all of it together.
So, how long is each side?
18.
And there are how many sides? So it is.
72.
Now, I have a question for you that, and it's not on this paper. What type of shape is this?
That's a polygon.
It is a polygon. It is a quadrilateral. It's a rhombus.
Yeah,
How do we know it's a rhombus?
Everything's parallel. No. Yes.
all
Yeah.
sides are equal.
All sides are equal.
Same thing.
All sides are equal. And the all sides being equal means that we have parallel sides, right? Now, it's not a square. Because for it to be a square, it has to have 4 90-degree angles. Now, forget that it don't look like it has 4 90-degree angles. Is there anything that indicates that we have 4 90-degree angles?
Before I ended.
Do you see right angles anywhere?
Like, no.
Nah.
They're either obtuse or acute.
Yeah. I mean, they
Four parallel.
now, we could have this right here. I want to point this out to you. Pretend those touch, okay? My drawing sucks. Pretend those touch right. So, if we have this, and I told you this was 5, 5, 5, 5, and this is the only information I gave you,
Parallel.
could you say that's a square?
Yes.
No, it could be rectangle. Right?
But they're all equal.
You can't say it's a square.
Wow.
Because nothing tells you that these angles are right angles. Now, if I did this, could you say it's a square?
Yes.
Yes. Now you can. But prior to that, all you could say was a rhombus. All right, your assignment is the back.
Can you help me with number 6?
I can. Let me wrap this up real quick, okay? Yes. Deontay.